Call the meeting to order for the Newham Economic Development Authority for Tuesday, June 8th, 2021. We have a quorum, so I'll waive the roll call. Next item on our agenda is item 2, is approval of the minutes from our May 11th, 2021 meeting.
I'll offer the motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion on the item? Otherwise, we'll call for a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Item 3.1, administrative activities for May of 2021.
All right, good morning, President Brahman, Commissioners. You have the report in your packet. I just have a couple items to highlight for you. Note under the public housing program, we did open up the community room at Broadway House Apartments for tenant use on June 1st, after being closed for about a year and 3 months. So that was a nice change for our tenants over there.
With new furniture.
Yeah, I was going to ask, the furniture's been delivered?
On order.
Oh, they are, okay.
There was a 4 to 6 week lead time, but we didn't want to hold up opening the community room. We talked to Public Health and they were okay with opening it as long as we posted some guidance for use of the room. So we've done that. And we went ahead and opened it up. It's been so long and they were so anxious to get back in there and socialize. So we went ahead. Under the EDA report, note that staff has been working on updating the city website, created some fact sheets for all of the EDA programs, as well as we're working on creating online applications for all EDA programs. So applicants can fill it all out online and click submit, and an email notification will go to the appropriate staff member. That's not up and running yet. We're working on it behind the scenes with IT. So as soon as that's ready, it'll go live on the website.
That'll be a great enhancement. That's, thank you for your efforts in working on that.
Note under the Get It Ready loan program, we received an inquiry on that program, and I did mail an application packet out. Haven't received it back yet. And then under the new multifamily rental rehab loan program, one application was received that actually has been approved now, and we're just waiting for the city attorney to send us the paperwork, and we'll set a closing date. And that loan amount will be, it's under 50,000, but it's close. It's 47 or 48, somewhere in there. It came out to. And that is all of the items I needed to point out.
I'll make a motion to accept the Economic Development Authority administrative activities for the month of May 2021.
I'll second the motion.
We have a first and a second. Is there any other additional discussion on the?
I have one question, Mr. Chair. Just when we talk about Garden Terrace and 82 on the waiting list, remind me again, I know that some people have only want a 1-bedroom, some want the 2-bedroom. So do we have waiting lists like for both, or do you just combine that waiting list together? Just curious.
Lloyd Management manages the waiting list, so I'd have to ask them how they do that. I don't manage that waiting list. I believe everyone's just on the waiting list and they make notes if they have certain preferences.
Okay.
So they don't
if we had
contact
20 on a
them.
waiting list for single apartments and 40 for the others, or
We annually will update that list?
Yeah, and
How
they-
recently has
They
that?
are working on it.
Right now? Okay.
Their regular day-to-day manager is out on leave, but she is going to be coming back.
Okay.
So they've started it, and then she's going to finish it up when she gets back in the
But
office.
we see those numbers fairly consistent with
Right.
multiple
Yeah.
dozens of folks on the waiting list, so
This is the highest it's been in a while, so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting when they clean it up, if it drops significantly or not.
I know the reason I asked that, a couple is moving back to New Ulm and wants to get in Garden Terrace. And, just like, I wonder if that, how that waiting list is looking, if it's longer for the 1-bedroom or longer for the 2.
I mean, they could always call and ask and,
I'm
get.
sure they have, yeah. I think they're
Yeah,
on the
they
list.
could get that information from the manager. Mhm.
Right, thank you.
Okay, a first and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Otherwise, we'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Next item is item 4.1, offer the resolution and waive the reading to adopt a public housing operating budget for fiscal year ending in June 30th, 2022.
Okay, so we always kick off budget season with the public housing operating budget because that is the budget with the fiscal year end of June 30th. So this needs to be approved prior to July 1st and submitted to HUD. All of our other budgets that we administer are calendar year. So the public housing operating budget covers the day-to-day operations of our 50 public housing units. 40 units are located at Broadway House Apartments, and then we have 10 scattered site family unit rental houses. The operating budget would be July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. And we work with our fee accountant, CNeighbor, to assemble the budget into the proper HUD format prior to submitting to HUD. The proposed budget is a status quo budget compared to the current fiscal year. We don't include capital fund grants in the budget. Those are separate. For the current fiscal year through the month of May, we have a surplus of approximately $32,000. Part of the reason we came out so well this fiscal year was due to the fact that we had a maintenance position that went unfilled for 6 months, so that saved us some money. We are projecting a surplus for the upcoming budget year of about $15,000. Our operating subsidy has increased, so I think we had 2 years where we were projecting a deficit, and now we're actually projecting a surplus, so that's good to see. So I will take any questions on the budget.
If we show a surplus in multiple years, are they going to reallocate then our budget down the road, or?
They shouldn't. We have a contract that as long as we're operating public housing units, they will fund us, and it shouldn't have anything to do with our bank account balance.
Okay, so
They
that,
did do that back in, I think it was 2012, and we're in the process of a lawsuit to recoup
Sure,
that money.
sure.
So that's still going through the appeal process. But they did lose their first case that we didn't participate in, and then there was a second lawsuit for, and that we joined that one, and we do expect to get our money. So,
Okay. So there's no, they haven't allocated in a wiggle room for instance, for the 15, but that shouldn't have any impact.
no, the operating, but the subsidy that we get from the federal government is just supposed to be based on how many units we have and a calculation. It shouldn't have anything to do
Pretty
with
straightforward.
deficit or
Okay,
surplus.
gotcha. Okay.
I'll offer a resolution to waive the reading to adopt the public housing operating budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2022.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Questions? Now, this type of resolution, we need to do a roll call vote.
Yes.
So, okay, let's offer the roll call vote then.
All right, Commissioner Fix,
Yes.
Commissioner Yanni,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Schultz,
Yes.
President Brown.
Yes, motion is carried. Okay, item 4.2 is the EDA claims list for, it says June?
Anything, doesn't look like there's anything out of the ordinary there.
Pretty routine.
I'll offer a motion to approve the claims.
Second.
We have a first and second. Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Item 5.1, accept the Economic Development Activity Report for May 2021 activities.
Commission President, Commissioners, I guess the really the big item there is the business relocation. We're kind of in the final steps of that, looking at a closing date to sell the land over behind Walmart to the company. They had a couple questions, engineering questions, so we're trying to get the answers to those, so to make sure it'll fit to fit their plan. So hopefully in the next month or so, we'll be able to close that, and construction can hopefully begin out there. And then Burning Diesel, at the special meeting, you approved that loan. Roger is finalizing those documents, so hopefully next week we'll be able to close that so they can get up and running. And then still working with the potential developer that was looking at the Garden Terrace site. We potentially found a site that would be suitable for them, so sent them that information, and we'll see if they want to develop at the site.
That relocation, is there anything you can share with us, that the type of business or type of, a number of employees that it may bring, or?
Number of employees, no. They still haven't divulged what the number of employees. They haven't really even asked for any incentives at this point.
Okay.
So those discussions will take place, I think, potentially after they close on the land. But it is going to be more of a freight warehouse.
Gotcha, okay.
So I would say minimal employees.
Sure, yeah, for that type of operation, sure.
Oh, and then I'll touch base on the Downtown Action Team. There actually is a call for artists right now to do a mural out on the side of the Nuvera building. And so if you go to the Chamber's website, the call for artists is there. We are looking for artists to pitch their ideas or their concepts for a mural on the side of the Nuvera building. And I'll use the term mural very loosely. It is more printing. They'll print it on, I think it's going to be what they use for billboards, and it'll slide in a rail system. So if it ever gets damaged or anything, we can replace instead of have to find the artist or repaint, or, if it's beyond repair, then just take it down. So.
I will make a motion to accept the Economic Development Activity Report for May 2021 activities.
I'll second the motion.
We have a first and second. Is there any additional discussion or questions on this item? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Which gets us to item number 6, adjournment. So that's got to be close to a record, isn't it? Or we are adjourned.